life's like a movie, 'cause mama keep falling in love. My life's like a movie, and I'ma keep smoking and drugs. My life's like a movie. She fucks with nothing but thugs. My life's like a movie.
Welcome back to the Why So Serious podcast. Brandon and Rashanii are back to review The Incredibles 2 this time, but we have the regular crew with us today. So, actually, more than the regular crew, Devin, Danielle, and Mike are also here to do this film. Everybody knows this movie, but basically, Bob Barr, Mr. Incredible, is left to care for the kids while Helen, Elastigirl, is out saving the world. We'll start with the first lady of the podcast, Danielle. What'd you think of Incredibles 2? Danielle?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was exactly what its title is. I thought it was incredible. It was full of action. There was comedy. For it to be a cartoon, it was fucking amazing. I really liked this one. The first one was good too, so my expectations were very high for it, for it to be, dope. And so I was very excited about how it was. It was very good.
Devin, same to you.
Me and Danielle had the pleasure of going together, so that was great. So I was definitely blown away by just all the chances they took with this movie. I didn't know it was going to be this good. Like, this is by far, it was up there as far as how good it was as a theme and then all the elements that were at play that were kind of adultish, but kids could still have fun watching it. And it was for adults as well. Like you have a lot of themes, and it's a family movie as well. So it had a lot of elements that you had to pay attention to, even though I did guess the protagonist. Antagonist, yeah, that's right, that one. Early, because, this is a spoiler anyway. Women can't do shit. Women always be shady. When I was like, yo, that bitch is shady, yo. It's her.
First of all, what you're not going to do is come for us, woman. Thank you.
She was shady. Look, yo, women don't want to see women win, yo. But anyway, it was really great. I enjoyed it. It was fantastic. It was better than the first one, and that's hard to do for me. So that's how I felt about it.
Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with Devin and Danielle. I knew the movie was going to be good, but I didn't know if it was going to be better than the first one, and it was fantastic. I would even argue that it was almost more for adults because people have waited 14 years for this. I mean, I remember when my parents took me to see it. I'm younger than all of you, but I remember when my parents took me to see it years ago, you know what I mean? So, I mean, there were definitely more. Granted, I went on that Thursday opening night, so I don't know how many kids are going to go on opening night, but I think there were way more adults in my theater.
Listen, I went to an 11 p.m. showing of this, and it was nothing but adults. The whole theater was full of adults. It was packed too at 11 o'clock at night. Rashanii, what'd you think?
You ever sit back on your high days, your drunk days, whatever, when you're sitting alone and you're like, you know what, I really want to see this movie, but I don't think that it would look right if there was an adult just sitting in a room full of kids giggling at a fucking movie. Christopher Robin is going to be in that situation. Like, I'm going to be in the back, like, Winnie the... The Incredibles, we went and saw it double feature at the fucking IMAX.
Yo.
And I, not only were my beloved wife and I there, my 4 kids were there. My youth basketball teams were there.
Oh, God.
Their parents were there. We tried to shut this motherfucker down. And I can tell you without any hyperbole that the last time I yelped this loudly for shit in the middle of movies was when they fucking landed in Wakanda.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing.
I have been waiting for this movie since I was 24 years old. My daughter was 1 when this movie came out. She's been waiting for it since she was 5. This was a family event, and it was so fucking worth it. And it made me mad. It was so good that it made me mad because I know without a shadow of a doubt, Craig T. Nelson is going to die before the next Incredibles comes out. That nigga look old as shit.
He look old. Yeah, okay. So before we get started, well, I love the movie too, but I'll talk about it more. Did you guys all get the short before the film?
Yeah.
That short? Yeah. So I thought that was fucking great.
That was super
But
good.
let me tell you something. God. In my theater, when by the way, this is a spoiler podcast like everything else we do. But yeah, in my theater, when she ate that fucking thing, everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
Yes.
I was weak as hell.
That shit was really good. That shit was really well done. But yeah, go ahead.
I was the inappropriate one in my movie theater, and I think a little bit differently than all the folks who were in the movie theater around me. So when he showed up with the white woman, when the bun showed up with the white woman, I was like, "How they fucking?" How is this happening? Like, how is he gonna put a bun in the oven? And that's when my wife told me to shut the fuck up. And I was like, how's he gonna put a bun in the oven? She was like, shut the fuck up. And then I was like, did she like build something on him? Does he have like little dough balls or something? And then she told me to shut the fuck up again.
It's like
my theater thought that they were in the wrong showing. People were like looking around confused. I mean I was confused for like a second, but I was like, oh, it must be one of those, because they do those all the time, but you really only see them. I think it's a good idea actually, because you really only see those shorts if you're like on Facebook and you follow their page and then they post them there every once in a while. But I figured it was one of them. My theater was confused at this little
at the
short.
ending, definitely. Like, I mean, because you just don't see it happening like that. But again, I felt the same way because I was like, so the little dough ball just put a baby in it, and now he's leaving home. Like, I feel like he needs to be protected still. Like, and I'm like, I'm not understanding it. I'm not understanding it. And then it comes full circle. But
it legit showed how, how kids are nowadays.
The thing is, I read an article. I knew it was coming because I read an article about it.
But once you get a certain age, the teenager doesn't want to be home that much no more. He ain't for it. Mom prepare a nice ass meal, and then you don't even appreciate it because you want to go out with your friends. So for it to be that little short, it was kind of deep. And then at the ending, and she was like, "Oh, so you gonna leave for real? Fuck you then." So she ate them, and I was like, "Damn, okay." But that shit was funny though, because like it was so deep. And then when he's really about to leave, she was like, "I'm tired of this shit. You want to leave? Okay."
You know what that felt like? Because I just watched this whole thing. That felt like on Insecure when Issa be having those dream sequences, like when she be thinking something. Yeah. She be thinking something, but it don't be really happening.
Yeah.
So she went through that whole life, and she's like, "I'm gonna eat this fucking little kid," and then pop back in reality.
You said, "Motherfucker, I made you, okay?" And you over here tripping. Fuck out of here.
See, and y'all seeing deep into this motherfucker. I'm shallow.
That's how it was.
I'm shallow. I am shallow as shit when it comes to this. I'm just sitting there watching him and his white girl like, who's eating who? I don't understand how this is working. Like, how the fuck did he get a beard? Like, what exactly is happening here? I hear that I'm aware that there was a rumor toxic male masculinity was part of it, but hey, whatever. That if you ate the pussy and the pussy juice got on your chin, you grow a beard. Is that how he got the beard? Who's eating who here? Like, niggas got questions. Like, is he like, hey, give me some? And she's like, dim some. And then they're like, hey, let's all get some. And like, niggas got questions. And also, the nigga never grew up.
Oh, right. But here's the thing. When she fed him, he got bigger. So I'm like, so you trying to tell me that white girl not feeding him? I'm sure she wants him to be bigger. Like
and okay, so the son shows up or whatever, and that's supposed to be the big awe moment. But for me, the big awe moment was the fact that the white girl was the one who was making the best buns. Like, really, y'all white women just show up and appropriate how to make these steam buns. Like, for real, these dumplings have been in your family forever. And where the fuck did the dad go for like the whole movie?
Yo, he didn't do shit, yo. But
he went to get soy sauce and never came back.
How much time passed between when that dumpling was born?
Life.
A whole life.
Yes. Yeah, the dad was gone forever.
His dad was gone forever.
Some Lucky Strikes and never came home.
Yeah.
It's funny.
All right, we talking too much about that, but it was good. It was done by a Chinese woman. It was basically she was telling some story, like true story type thing in animation form. So it was supposed to be like all deep and shit, but I thought it was just interesting. I thought it was good to see some shine to that though.
Dang, I knew she was Chinese because the way their eyes was cut on the character.
God, you ain't shit.
She ain't have to do all that. The whole time back in my head, I was like, yeah, they Chinese. Oh wow.
On some real shit though, that's relatable. Like on some shit, like because my mama don't think nobody good enough for me and shit. No, because like I seen that shit, but like my mom be like,
she probably rolled her eyes when she brought that white woman home.
Yeah. Hey, yo, she's Italian, man. Look.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, them some good stuff.
She had some hips and she had hairspray in her shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, where the fuck were they? Jersey, like her hair was hella teased up.
Yeah, there definitely was some Jersey shit.
That's why I was like, she Italian, man.
Y'all irritating.
All right.
Look, it ain't my fault. She like a soprano.
That's all I had to remember. I was like, that's why you're not gonna call that woman white. She is Italian.
Her hair looked like did y'all see the front cover of the Rolling Stone magazine of Cardi B?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the pregnant picture?
Yeah, where her hair. Yeah, that's exactly how it looked. Yeah.
That's New York Jersey shit. That's what it is.
All right. Let's get into this movie.
Wait.
Oh,
you did have to speak to your manager hair though. That's all I had to say. Okay, go ahead.
She did have that hairstyle.
Yeah.
She did have that hairstyle. She was very. I speak to them. What was that clip of that woman? I've seen it like all over the place where she's like yelling at these little kids and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like this white woman, and she's like, "You're not gonna do this here." And she's like yelling at them and shit.
Oh shit!
I've seen it everywhere recently, but it did remind me of
Black
that.
Eye Tips and shit. Yeah, but I ain't seen it yet.
All right, but yeah, let's get into The Incredibles 2. So basically, the whole point of this movie was like, first of all, I gotta say this: Bob ain't shit.
I knew you were gonna say that.
He is not. He ain't shit.
I was like, I hate Mr. Incredible. He's being a...
I mean, how can you not hate him? What are you talking about? He was.
Well, hold on. I understand that Bob ain't shit, but you gotta remember this is a direct continuation. That nigga ain't grown that much in a day.
Right.
Like we've had 14 years as well on this shit. That nigga had 3 hours. He hopped out the car to go to his son's sporting event that he had been whining like a punk over for like 3 months. And then all of a sudden this dude hops out of nowhere. He ain't got no time to mature. Ain't nothing happened to Bob.
Great.
That don't make him less of being ain't shit.
But look, Brandon, like you gotta realize this is a period piece though, like on some real shit. Like, yo, this is in the 60s. I mean, like damn the 60s or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like
nah, this shit was like Batman the animated series timepiece. Like it's like partly the 60s, but like partly like the year 3000. That niggas had shit that don't exist now. And I'm talking about the 60s. It was one of the listen. They was like, we need Elastigirl to go save the world. And he was like, but I'm incredible. I'm like, you a hating ass nigga, man. You won't even let your wife go be a star.
Real talk. That nigga handled it like Sanka Coffee did when he found out he wasn't gonna be driving the Bob cart. I'm Sanka Coffee. I drive.
So, Mike, were you on Mr. Incredible's side? Don't be that guy.
I mean, I don't hate him, but I was like, he's being wrong. I mean, he's obviously wrong in that, but he ended up supporting her in the end. I think it was just more for comedic relief because we're used to seeing him in the spotlight in the first one, and he's right. It's only been like a couple hours.
But listen, in the first one, he was trash. In the first one, he lied to his wife about getting fired. Then took a secret ass job. Didn't tell her about it. then got his ass caught up because he wasn't as good as he thought he was, and she and the kids had to come save his ass. And then this one, after all that happens, he still thinks he's better than her. Like, you just got caught, and she had to come save you.
But he wanted to be the man of the house, though. He wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His pride was probably shot. He had an opportunity, because you know how y'all men do. He had an opportunity to stick his chest out and be the bigger person for real. And he could. So he felt like a little bitch.
Yeah.
What you want?
I'm not against him, but that being not against him doesn't mean I condemn his being.
His hatred?
I've heard a lot of people be describing.
She would call him mad hype, and he'll be like, this bitch.
Nah, because you don't know what I'm going through. These kids is bad as shit.
Look, she know what he going through. That's all she been doing, taking care of them damn kids. The fuck you mean?
I just want to draw attention to the fact that I've seen multiple people, and this is a quote, refer to Mrs. Incredible as, and here's the quote, thick. And I must say, I think I agree with them.
It took you this long?
I know. You ain't noticed that 14
years
years ago?
When I saw the first Incredibles? Let's see. I'm 23 right now.
Not old enough to appreciate that she been thick. I was 24, nigga. She was, nigga.
I was 9.
Miss Incredible is like 2 bowls of Jiffy peanut butter. She is thick as shit.
Yeah, she's
and
thick.
somebody was like, why she look like an Instagram model? Like, nigga, please. Y'all look, we can all acknowledge that she thick, but y'all looking too deep into this. Y'all kind of weirding me out with all this comparison. Like, I think that y'all take her home with you and go spend some quality time talking about she like an IG model. No, nigga, she look like Mrs. Incredible, but she got them cakes, nigga.
Yeah, I know there's gotta be. I know there's some Incredibles porn on the internet. I ain't seen.
You know there is.
But I know there is.
Incredible.
The memes. You know there's the memes. You know there is.
Here's the thing about Mr. Incredible that got me. And Danielle, I am so sorry for interrupting. By all means, go ahead. I apologize.
No, I won't talk about that. Go ahead.
She wasn't saying shit. Go ahead.
Here's the thing about Mr. Incredible, what you got to remember. Mr. Incredible is a very, very, very shallow, wounded white male.
Oh, yes.
Who has just had a moment where he broke down and had to grow in front of his kids, which broke him down just a little bit more, had to break down and tell his wife that he wasn't strong enough to do something, that he wasn't strong enough to lose her again, had to break down and get beat up by his protege. This nigga about to come home and try and act like none of that happened.
I mean, you sound like it's the making of a school shooter. That's what you sound like.
It is. Mr. Incredible could go villain so quickly.
That is a villain origin story. That is. Like, he was one step away from making that trip. Also, we're not going to...
And she wouldn't let him have the cape.
Oh, that's true, too. That's true, too. And we're not going to act like... Oh, you remember the first movie where he started working out and shit? And then he was all fat shit. He started working out and shit. I thought he was going to say something about her, like not working out when he was doing that, because I thought he was going to be trash like that. So at least he's not that trash. So I know we're not going to pretend like this wasn't the best Fantastic Four film they've ever made.
Oh, shit.
When I saw this,
I ain't want to say it.
Jack is live as fuck.
Yo, Jack, man. Shit.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
Jack, fuck that raccoon up.
Yo,
Listen.
that shit was so good.
I said they got a super scroll little baby. He can do anything. This is really the Fantastic Four. But it did piss me off because everybody knows how much Fox pisses me off. I talk about it all the time on the show. But I love the fucking Fantastic Four. And all the Fantastic Four movies has been shitty. And Disney makes this movie, and it's not a ripoff, but it is very in the same light as the Fantastic Four. And it's like they completely understand the dichotomy of having a family with powers that fight crime. Like, they totally get that whole idea, and they exploit it in a way that kind of gives each person, well, Dash don't really get that much character development, but all the other characters do.
Dashel.
He's so young, though. I mean, aside from the baby.
I mean, Jack got some development.
That's just because people think he's adorable and wanted to see him
he
more
is
after
adorable.
that bonus footage they released with the first movie.
I mean, the nigga run fast. What the fuck is he supposed to do with his life?
I also want to bring
be a
attention to the
hyper ass
fact
kid. That's what he's
that
supposed to be, right?
in the first movie for Dash, they were like not letting him play sports because of his speed. And I was like watching that, and I was like, I mean, there are other sports that you could do. And then when they end up letting him play a sport, you know, they pick track, and I'm like, of all the sports to let it, that's been bothering me for the last.
What
14
you want him to do? Rowing like you?
No, but anything other than like you pick. Your son has super speed, so he wants to play a sport like play basketball. I mean, still.
I mean, look how little.
Like,
I mean, just because he got speed don't mean he can jump. I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, still though, Brandon, he's gonna make layups on top of layups.
Is he?
So.
Look how little he is. He can't even. He only come to the Elastigirl knee. He's got to be like 10 years old. He's doing algebra. He's doing algebra and shit in school. He's got to be at least 10, 11 years old. He only come to his mama knee at 11 years old.
He's in 5th grade.
So that would make him 11 years old. 10 years old, right?
11.
11, yeah.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, he ain't playing no damn basketball. Get out of here.
No, my son. He could.
He'll be with other people.
He'd be an ill-ass crossover king. He could if he had them. Because look, and I know we talk about the first movie a lot right now, but in the first movie, that nigga's the one who pushed them all the way out of that ocean back to shore.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
His spastic movements would be quick as shit. He mixed the shit out of people, and then blurred to the basket.
The
I was
professor.
gonna say that first step.
He got a quick first step, huh?
Yeah.
Devin, what'd you think about Lucius in this film? We got a lot more Lucius than you did in the first film.
Man, you know, anytime I get that, my black man, my guy, Sam, he does so good, man. He was smooth as shit, and he played the black friend. Be like, I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on. I'm getting the fuck out of here though. Like he played it too, and he got more parts, and then he's the best black friend you had, because guess what? He came and get them kids. Like
He did come to get them kids. That's true.
How you make a cartoon ugly like Samuel Jackson is ugly. I know this ain't got nothing to do with it, but I'm just saying though, like they could have made him look nicer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, he's a typical black dude, bald head, goatee.
But they could have gave him like a little muscle. You know what I mean?
He's an old man.
I'm just saying though, they could have made him a little bit more presentable to represent a black cartoon character.
So
that's all I'm saying.
what you're saying is you're not going to give Lucius the cakes?
No, I'm not actually. He's too skinny. He'll slide right.
Smooth talking though. That nigga smooth
see?
talk. He food with it though.
He'll slide right between the cheeks. Nah, I'm good.
See,
Nigga will fuck you and make you a really nice snow cone, though.
he will make you a nice snow cone. That's true. Make you some ice earrings.
I couldn't give you nothing, but I got this nice ass snow cone for you.
See, you can slide around the city. You don't need no car. Look at
You
that
right.
shit. Trying to tell you, it's
Hey,
benefits.
look, we ain't even got to spend no money on no goddamn ski vacation, baby. I got you right here.
Right.
He can bring
That's
the
some
Poconos to
smooth
you. He'll bring the Poconos to you.
That's some smooth.
Also, we
Actually,
got
the biggest issue I had with that is that they still didn't take the opportunity
the show his
and
wife.
this is the me thing, that they still didn't take the opportunity to introduce his wife,
Yeah,
that's
what I said.
black woman, into the limelight. You know, they're still not saying who's playing his wife. They're still not giving her more than like one line per movie, like she's some sort of a joke or something like that. She could have done something.
Her whole
They got all
line
these
is,
people in here.
"Nigga, where you going?" That's the whole shit every time. All right.
And I'm kind of tired of her being like nagging. Like she why y'all make her like that? She could have been like, "All right, baby, I know you going out to save the world. Holla at me. Bring back some of them fucking Cinnabon, something."
Although
Yeah,
I
they
agree.
could've-
Go ahead,
They
Danielle.
could have showed her. Yeah, they could have showed her supportive. Instead, they made it seem like, oh, she's a nagging little bit.
I agree.
stereotype,
I
yeah.
agree. But if I mean, I'm just gonna say it. If this was the '60s, I can see a black woman being like, "Nigga, don't be going out here fighting crime with these white people. You trying to get your ass killed.
Exactly.
Like, stay in this house. Don't go out there. I'm not trying to lose my husband to help saving the world from these white people. Like, I can imagine a black husband saying that to his wife or a wife saying that to her husband. I can see that.
But being a super is illegal right now.
Outside of I was about to get to that. And being a super is illegal, and he black. They ready to shoot his ass. It ain't no talking to fucking Frozo. Frozo getting shot with a heat gun or something. He's getting melted. Which also reminds me, low key. So, did y'all notice how they try to do like a editorial on like body cams in this movie? Like, did y'all get that? Because I totally got that.
Yeah.
Like, everybody should have a body. Because basically, it was like the superheroes are like law enforcement, and their argument was these superheroes are going unchecked, and somebody need to check these niggas. And so, Homeboy was like, "We're gonna put cameras in your suit so that the whole world can see everything you do, to show that you're not fucked up." Which is the whole argument of what like black people would be like. Is like, look, if you police ain't doing fucked up shit, wear the goddamn body cam. So
don't cut it off.
I kind of thought that was on purpose. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too far into it.
No. Like I said, there's a lot of layers to this movie, man. Like, and that's one of them. Like, that's an element, for somebody to go unchecked, that have these abilities that people are actually frightened of, and you can go relate that to the cops. People are scared that cops are using them. I mean, black people. We're not going to say all people because that's just not true. But feel like they're using their authority in a way that is unchecked, hyper aggressive, and unnecessarily to do their job. So that's right. That's a layer to it, Brandon. Like, I mean, that's not that we all see, and it's the same thing with either Batman v Superman. That's the same damn thing. Somebody got to hold this motherfucker accountable. We don't
speak of that movie on this show.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize, but
you know better than
everything.
So I guess this is for Derek and Mike, because Devin already spoke on this, and Danielle. Did you guys see Evelyn being the villain the whole time, or did you guys think it was Winston?
No, I saw it.
She was creepy.
But you got to remember, this movie, even though we want it to be for us, it wasn't made for us.
Yeah, exactly. That didn't make me not enjoy it.
Kids might have been surprised, but her brother was like there were. It was just the way she even looked at her brother was like, "Nigga, I'll kill you too." She had murder eyes. Her and Violet had murder eyes, and so Violet has murder eyes.
Violet definitely has murder eyes.
Scene she's in.
Absolutely.
Violet has Wednesday Adam murder eyes.
Yes, she does have Wednesday Adam in her, definitely.
And something that my beloved daughter Gogo mentioned to me that now I can't unsee. Mr. Incredible has blonde hair. Elastigirl has brown hair.
Still.
Jack, hold up. Jack, and
Dash
have blonde hair.
Where'd she get black hair from? Why Lucia's hair bald? Why she look olive complexion while the rest of them just plain old white? Why Lucia's coming around so much? Why his wife monitoring him all of a sudden? Where are you going?
You're right. You're right.
Come through. God dang.
Look at this. Look at this conspiracy theory. Look at this shit.
I didn't want to hear that.
I ain't gonna lie though.
It adds up.
I didn't see Evelyn as the little bitch that she was until later, because Devin kept telling me, he's like, watch, and I was like, oh, first I really did think it was the brother, and then it sure enough was her ass. I was like, damn.
Women can't never hate. Women always hate no women in the workplace, yo.
No, we not. First of all, no, we not. Okay.
Well, it made sense though, because if Elastigirl is going to be the protagonist, then I felt like the smart thing to do for them would be to make an equally as aggressive female antagonist.
Stephanie just joined in on the show.
Dumb. It was
her reasoning was dumb.
Look,
it was very dumb.
Look, he tried to call two people who were literally getting blown to bits by Syndrome, and because they didn't answer, I hate all y'all motherfuckers.
She was like,
did Stephanie join?
Yeah, Stephanie just joined.
Trying to get there.
Hey, girl.
Wakanda queen. My Wakanda queen's in the building. Come on, boo. Come through.
Do it.
Look
Do
at this. I can't go nowhere without you showing up. What's up, girl? Y'all didn't know she my co-host on Single Simulcast.
Yep.
No.
Look at that.
Stephanie, you there?
Okay.
I think she
Stephanie!
getting shit together. She ain't hear none of this shit talking.
Hello?
See, Steph missed all the shit
Hello?
talking.
Yeah, we was praising the shit out of you, girl. Praise them.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Steph, real
I'm
quick,
moving.
what you think
What's
about
up?
Incredibles? We just jumping in. What you think about Incredibles?
It was freaking fantastic and so worth the wait. I was like, oh my God, this is bloody brilliant.
So let me get you up to date on what we talked about. We talked
Okay.
about the creepy ass short before the movie, and we talked about Elastigirl being thick. We talked about Mr. Incredible being ain't shit, and Rashanii just put out a theory that Lucius is the secret baby daddy of Violet. So
You
that
know
gets
what?
you up to date.
Hey, let him do the math for you. Let him do the math.
Hey,
We do it all
yo,
the time.
before you say that, remember, what color's Jack's hair?
Oh my God. Is this like Game of Thrones?
No,
This is
what color is Jack's hair?
It is
It's blonde. What color is Dash's hair? It's blonde. What color is Mr. Incredible's hair? It's blonde. Genetic lineup. What color is
He is really-
Elastigirl's hair? Brown. What color is Violet's hair? Black. Why does Violet act like everybody, like she the outcast of the family? Everybody else all close and stuff, and she want to be away. Why is she looking darker than the rest of them? Why is she darker than the rest of them?
Oh my God.
We gotta run tell that. Run tell that.
Why is it that when she? Why is it that when in the first movie when Frozone shows up at the house, everybody else says hi except for Violet?
Doing this.
She's still trying to figure out her feelings. And remember, this movie came out literally like it's a few hours after the first movie ended, a few minutes after the first movie ended. She still ain't found out a way to say, I know you my daddy. So when he come over to babysit, she don't even want to talk to that nigga. She got
Oh
all
my
these
God.
feelings and all this angst built up. Look, he's olive complected. Put that nigga on Maury. Bet. Bet.
Oh my God.
What?
Put him on Maury.
You know what, Rashanii? You better put this on Storytellers. The origin of Violet. That's your new topic.
Look. Violet. What's violet? Violet is a mixture of two colors, ain't it?
Oh my God. Here we go.
God damn it.
Oh my God.
Speak, my brother. Speak, my brother.
Back in the
Yes.
60s, this was not allowed, so they just had to say that Mr. Incredible was her daddy. That's why they don't talk much.
Violet's
Mr.
like
Incredible helping Dash out with his homework the whole 9 yards. He don't do nothing with Violet except try and get her boyfriend erased.
So you basically saying Lucius is Jamie Lannister.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Damn.
I'm just saying. And here's the crazy thing. In the first movie, when that white cop was trying to shoot at Frozone because, of course, white cops are going to try and murder a black superhero, he was like, freeze, and froze him, but he could still see it. Mr. Incredible ran into the house while Frozone was getting his. He was like, freeze. Mr. Incredible.
Listen, see, this is what happens. This is what happens when you bring these people together. See, this is the shit we talking about. Mike, let's get back to some superhero shit because I know that you're not comfortable in this lane. Mike's over in the corner.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Mike, what'd you think about the other heroes that they showed on here? So we met. Who did we meet? Void, Crusher, Reflux, Owlman. What was his name?
Screech.
Screech. What'd you think about that? I enjoyed this part because it kind of expanded the universe and kind of made it.
After, I felt like I left the theater and I was in the car on the way back and I was like, am I the only one that wants an expanded universe on The Incredibles? Like, can that? I'm about it. It was cool. It was, the old guy, he was weird. He was kind of lame, but I could see. it was at this part that I realized that this is still a kids movie, like, or meant to be. But yeah, it was because there were other superheroes in the first one. You just didn't see any of them because they were all like dead or exiled.
Right.
So it was cool. But I would definitely be down for an expanded Incredibles universe. Not that they would do it.
So
yeah, they would. Yeah, they would.
They would.
Remember,
I absolutely
like I
think
said
they
at the
would.
beginning,
Mm-hmm.
Craig T. Nelson is gonna die soon.
Mm-hmm.
They got it. They see how this movie was the highest grossing opening for an animated film in history. They're gonna make a sequel or a trilogy.
Yeah.
But the nigga might be dead. So they gotta make new motherfuckers.
Listen, Craig T. Nelson was born in 1944.
He gonna die.
He is 70. He is 74 years old.
Okay. If he starts now,
What? Start filming now, just to knock it out? Like Stan Lee, they filmed like 25 cameos for Stan Lee because they thought that nigga was gonna die, and they could just put him in all the rest of the movies.
yeah, they can start. They can start.
Danielle, I mean not Danielle, Stephanie. I know. I mean, well, let's see if I know. But let me guess. Was your favorite character Edna?
Yes.
I thought so.
You know, Edna's voiced by a man.
Yep.
Yes, I do.
Yes, the
She
director
was
of the
my
movie. It's
favorite
Brad
in the
Bird.
first. Yeah. She was my favorite in the first movie too.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
Edna was not here for Mr. Incredible's bullshit. She's like, give me Jack, get the fuck out of here. Yo, don't come fuck this shit up.
She became everybody's favorite aunt. Like, that's your favorite aunt. Like, when you were growing up, like that's when your parents dropped you off with your favorite aunt. That's who she is.
Also, making suits for superheroes must be real lucrative because their house sweet as shit.
Now remember, after she stopped making suits for him, she became a just straight fashion designer. She was in Milan.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, in the first one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Edna's coast to coast. But let's talk about the fact that motherfucker, this is another thing that my daughter Gogo and I were talking about. The fact that she got fucking rocket launchers just shooting at, like, out of nowhere. She got a turret gun in the hallway. She got rocket launchers in the experiment chamber. Edna bad as shit. We need to have an all story on her life.
Yeah, because she does.
Yes, I am definitely interested in her life.
And she's not having no kids. She's like, nope.
No kids and no capes. That should be the motto.
That is a whole mood.
Yeah, she's not that attractive. I don't think that she would make great kids anyway.
Oh, my God. They are always hating on someone.
I'm just saying.
See? And this is why the villain, she ain't see the villain come because she throw the shade.
Look, people done fucked uglier people for the money. Much uglier people than Edna. Trust me, she will find somebody.
Her hair is slayed, but
That bob, everything.
that bob is dope. But they could have gave her some different type of glasses and gave her a nose job.
Hey,
A
I want a
nose
shirt
job?
that has her logo on it now. I tried looking for one on Amazon, but they don't have any. The one that was in the
Oh,
movie
they
on the
don't?
billboard.
Oh.
No, they don't have any. I wanted one. I
Make
would've
it.
bought one.
Make it.
I could make it, actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah, make it. And then ask for forgiveness later. Y'all talk about fucking ugly people in that movie. Has nobody talked about Mr. Incredible's forehead?
Oh, my God.
Wow. Okay.
Nah, but his chin though.
It's incredible.
This chin is incredible.
Very.
He should have had
It's
a
like all of his strength is in his chin. Like, nigga, come on now.
Right, he should have had a superpower. Going
And look,
from his
in the
chin.
first movie, they alluded to him and Helen fucking. But this movie, he wasn't getting no action. Maybe that's why he was so cranky. Because
That's true.
the first one, remember, he was trying to go to work, and she was like, "You ain't going nowhere," and brought his ass back in the bedroom. I think that led to some of his angst and some of his anxiousness.
Yeah, because he can't jack off. He'll rip his dick off. Oh, Mirage.
He probably would. He don't have no control of his damn strength. Stephanie, what was your favorite part of this film?
It's weird, but it is the reveal, the big reveal of who the villain was. because even though kind of alluded to it, I was like, I need to see it. I need to see you guys actually say she is the villain. I was like, ooh, this is exciting because the villain was female. I was very excited.
It's a female lead movie.
She was kind of dark as shit too. Like that was a dark ass villain. This whole movie was kind of dark.
She was bloody brilliant.
Who was she voiced by? Because I heard that voice before.
I didn't.
She was voiced by Catherine Kenner. She's been on 40-year-old versions. She played Trish.
I know who she is now. Yeah. Okay.
Unless y'all saw that last week, y'all surprising me because didn't that shit come out in like 2006?
What, 40-year-old version?
Oh, okay. You win this battle. I have it on my. Actually, I just realized I had 2 copies of it on my shelf. One's unwrapped and the other one's only been watched once.
Oh my God. One of my faves. I don't know what it is, but it's one of my faves.
I don't know. My favorite part was the baby.
The raccoon.
Jack. Of seeing him and his powers. Because first I'm like, okay, he got a couple. That's cute. But then, like, each, as the movie prolonged, he had 1,000 different gifts. And I thought it was hilarious how they
cloned himself, y'all.
How they showed the baby not being able to control his own power. That was cute.
So if they do
himself, like that raccoon just looks so sorry when that nigga cloned himself.
That raccoon was like, "We don't want no problems, big fella.
I don't want no trouble.
We don't want no problems, bro. Hey, I'm sorry, man."
So if they do a third one, do y'all want to see it pick up right after this, or like some time pass, like Jack getting older?
Jack older, definitely.
Jack older. I got to see how he manages his powers because he has a lot.
I feel like Jack won't be as interesting older. It's kind of like Baby Groot.
I want him to stay baby.
It's kind of like Groot,
and
Baby
the thing
Groot.
about Jack is part of his appeal is the fact that he's fucking adorable.
Yeah.
Like his dad was reading the story, and as a father, I felt this to my inner core. Reading the story to your child, and you're tired, and the baby falls asleep, so you go watch TV or whatever, and then the baby pops back up, so you're reading it again, and now you're falling asleep, and the baby taps you on the forehead to make you wake up. That's happened to me. There's adorable things that Jack can get away with now that probably wouldn't work if he was older.
Yeah, they just need to give him that Benjamin Button disease.
Nigga like 39 now. Sending off
like
phones
older,
to work
like
and shit.
2, like when he's like talking and babbling.
Right.
Like
Babbling
12
now.
years old.
He was babbling while he was fucking that raccoon up.
I think 2 is the limit. I don't think you can go older than 2.
Right. I'm with you on the 2. I'm with you with that.
But I don't know how old he is now because he walking and shit. He's got to be close to 1.
Yeah.
And another thing, how the fuck is Lucius supposed to avoid them cakes anyway? Have you seen Mrs. Incredible?
I love that people are like focusing on this, and Homegirl was thick in the first one. I'm like, y'all late?
He smashed in the first one. How you think he got there?
Okay. All right.
Her voice always throws me off though. I like Holly Hunter, but she sounds like old and Midwestern as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just it throws me off when I see her like animation and then I hear her. It always throws
You
me
see how
off.
Lucius made it to his wedding before he did? Like he was just hoping.
Okay. All right.
See, Lucius the homewrecker.
Lucius.
Can you imagine?
Empire.
Can you imagine how salty
Lucius.
Mr. Incredible would be if that came to be true? He'd be unbearable. He'd probably be like,
He's going evil. That's the turn. That's the heel turn right there.
I hope it happens. God, I hope it happens.
Separate. They'll have a scene of Mr. Incredible banging his wife.
Oh my God.
"Oh, see,
Yeah, they'll have a scene. They'll have a scene of Mr. Incredible banging Lucius's wife, and then they'll show the after effect, and she'll probably come back thick as hell.
Boy.
that's so
be
you
like
saying
a
that's
dirty
why
bucket.
you saying that's
Since
why
you gave me that
Elastigirl's
pussy,
so
that
thick
ass been getting fatter.
because Mr.
That's why her was so thick.
Because
She was
Mr.
on
Incredible
the
was fucking
backside.
her and stretching her out.
Exactly.
And
That's exactly the problem.
Look,
That's why
I thought
she's flexible. That's why she's flexible, because she do yoga. He trained her right. He trained her right.
the thing about this movie is there was a lot like supposed to love it, and I did. I mean, it was a wonderful movie, but there were things that were just convenient, like the whole. She just happened to have the reveal that she was a bad guy, and then all of a sudden her plan just goes perfectly, and I fucking hate when that happens. And Lucius just happens to walk into this trap, and Mr. Incredible just happens to walk into this trap, and all these things just happen. It irritates me where things happen so easily. Like it's like a Deus Machina, or is that what it's called? Deus Ex Machina, where something just suddenly appears and becomes like, oh yeah, this is how it's supposed to work. This is how it always worked. But no, it didn't. It didn't. Like that. The villain in this story, even though it was her, the villain's motives, like the villain's motives that they were putting out on the TV, were stupid.
Stupid, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
they were stupid. In the 60s, you're worried about people being too plugged into TV? Word?
Listen.
For real?
I just want to know. Excuse me.
What happened to the neighbor kid, yo? What the fuck is he in?
Right? I was
yeah.
looking for him to come out and be like, do something totally wicked. It literally just happened an hour before.
So we all agree that Bob was right to wipe the little homie's mind, right?
Damn right.
He was right?
No,
No.
because that little boy didn't get his mind wiped.
The little boy ain't seen him without the mask, though.
That little nigga was standing right there when Bob crushed the car.
He did.
But he was in his. He was. Oh yeah, you're right.
You know what? He just wiped her memory because she's Frozone's daughter.
Here we go. Oh my God.
And I'm saying, if they do come out with a third movie, all I'm asking, Brad, listen, Brad, check it out, Brad, listen, nigga, listen. Can I call you nigga? Anyways, nigga, listen. Shani, nigga, check it out. What I need from you, nigga, you listening? Look, nigga, if you give Frozone a dog and name it Turbo, I will be your best fucking friend.
Oh,
that's
God.
all I'm asking for. Just have Turbo and Frozone, and the 80s baby and me will pop lock all throughout your theater. That's all I'm asking for.
Oh
That's
my
it.
God.
Damn. That was a lot. That was a lot to take on this. I'm sorry, that was a lot.
Mike, what was your favorite part of the movie, Mike?
Probably the scene with Jack.
Hold up. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just on IMDb and I'm looking at the names of the people. Did y'all know that Dash is not his first name?
It's Dash.
Yeah, it's Dazzle.
Dash Shield, Shiell. You sure that's not
Dazzle.
Frozo's son?
Yeah, Dazzle Robert Parr.
That sounds like a black ass name to me.
No,
Dash.
Oh snap!
no.
I'm just saying,
No.
Dash Shield.
I'm just saying, just because that motherfucker can run fast, that don't mean nothing.
But listen, no, but look, black people run fast though. You know, we know for track and stuff. So I'm just saying.
He got blue eyes.
He got blue eyes though. He look like a little Aryan
Okay,
baby.
but people in Africa have blue eyes and blonde hair because I've seen a
We're not
picture
doing
on
this. We're not going down
Instagram
that rabbit hole.
trending.
We're not doing that. Oh my God.
I've seen it.
We're not going down that rabbit hole. We're not doing it.
I'm just
All
saying.
right, you cut Mike
Hey,
off.
look,
Mike, go ahead.
we had Nas and CD drop on Friday, so we're all winning right now. We are winning. Nas drop, and we are enlightening ourselves to our black heritage.
No, Nas.
Yeah, no, Nas.
No.
Nas went full hotep.
He did. He really did.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think my favorite scene has to be the Jack and the raccoon, because I think Jack is what I definitely wanted more of the first movie. And it was just, and honestly, just watching Bob take care of the kids in general is just, it was entertaining. Like, I mean, the Elastigirl stuff was great, and I loved it too in its own way. But I felt like I could, I kind of had a feeling that the girl, I forget her name, the sister was the bad guy, and so I kind of felt like I knew what was going to happen with her. But watching the stuff, like watching Mr. Incredible try to take care of the kids, I couldn't really predict what he was going to do. Especially that scene when he goes up into that diner and like tries to make things better by like, and I was like, oh, this is going to end horribly.
That was such terrible fathering. Like, what was
I
that?
can see someone doing that too, though, to try and like.
I don't know.
can see my dad doing that to my sister. Honestly, I think my dad would do something like that, but not like mean to be bad. I think he would do that by like
trying to make it right.
Honestly, thinking it would make her feel better. Like that. So I think that was.
I saw that. I said, "This is not gonna go well. This seemed like a horrible idea.
It went horrible.
I feel like a horrible idea." Devin, what about you?
I'm definitely. I guess. I mean, that shit was my favorite part, the fucking raccoon and Jack. But just seeing Elastigirl fucking like own the whole movie, that shit was pretty cool. Like that Elastigirl was fucking dope as shit.
Look, her power was kind of unfair to me.
Yeah. And just be thinking about like how Bob is knocking them cake down because he's flexible as fuck. That shit was real good. I was like,
you got a little bit of echo.
My bad. I said just thinking about how them cakes is, because like she was flipping like every time she do a little cartwheel across the buildings and shit. I'm like, bitch. Ooh. Like I was like, yo.
I feel like. See, now I'm starting to go against Rashanie's Lucius affair because I feel like Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible couldn't leave each other because like can't nobody fulfill what the other person can do. You
because you can't fulfill people don't mean you can't have affairs.
Listen, let me tell you something. You got the woman who can do what she can do. I feel like you won't ever get bored.
That's the only woman for him. He would
No. Y'all are saying that's the only woman for him. Y'all aren't looking at Elastigirl. Y'all are looking at the guy.
Okay, I feel like Elastigirl. You got a nigga with super strength.
What you got is a misogynistic asshole who keeps on walking all over you and talking down to you.
He is misogynistic. That's true.
You got this dude who keeps on walking all over you, needs to be the center of attention, doesn't want to help out at home, breaks the car, breaks shit all the time, and argues with you because you won't let your kids use their powers in public, knowing that it's dangerous. She fucking.
Dang, I hit home for you because you snapping.
She dangerous.
That's true. That's true.
Like I said, I've had.
I know you got 4 kids. I know you got 4 kids, but you was going in right now. I'm over here like, dang it.
She fucking. That's it. Let's just keep her 100. The only way she's still smiling when he goes out for bowling nights is she fucking.
See,
damn.
Rashanie's Team Helen.
That shit got too real.
Team Helen.
Dang, that's real. That is real.
See, what's your opinion, Steph?
I feel like you knew Mr. Incredible and he vented to you or something.
Hey, I feel like I'm not going to go as deep as Rashanii. I'm like, oh.
Yo, I'm saying, I feel like Helen called you. Helen called you and was like, "This is what's happening. Why I'm having
like,
sex
how we
with
know
her."
that's not Rashanii, baby?
Look, all I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. At the end of my show, I say, call us. We'll be completely confidential. Now, if people call me and say somebody is fucking around on me and I got proof, so be it. Look, here's the thing. If I'm in a relationship, I'm not trying to be the controller of that household. And Bob wasn't there for anything.
No,
like, once he couldn't be a superhero anymore, he didn't want to do nothing.
Honestly, in both movies, Bob didn't do shit.
The first movie starts 15 years after he fucks everything up and they get sued and superheroes get shut down and all that. So that's 15 unshown years of him just mentally and physically shutting down.
He was working on his app.
He can't do what he used to do. And Lucius right there.
That shit fresh in my head. He was working on his app for 15 years. Look, and honestly though, in these 2 movies, he ain't accomplished nothing. He ain't saved shit. He ain't really do a good job of taking care of the kids either. Honestly,
no.
Like,
I mean, you think about it. One is a teenager, one is a preteen. They're pretty suspicion as opposed, other than the new math.
Oh yeah, he stood up all night. He want credit for staying up all night to learn some fucking math problems.
I was like, new math. I'm like, what's considered new?
They do got that new math though. They do got that.
I seen it. That shit is new.
Oh. How do you change math? I feel like Bob Parr.
See, look,
how do you change it? How do you change math?
Look at you get your old white man on.
Instruments to it.
I know. Let me get my angry white man on. How do you fucking change math? 2 + 2 is 4, nigga.
See, Stephanie.
Yeah, but show how.
So y'all think
Go
Bob?
get my graphing calculator.
Y'all think Bob voted for Trump?
Oh,
Yes.
without question, yeah. Wow.
I feel like Bob voted for Trump and Mrs. or Elastigirl.
Is
She probably
Donald
voted
Trump
for Jill
gonna
Stein. They all trash.
Is Donald Trump in support of superhero? Are they allowed to be superheroes?
Fuck yeah, he wants superheroes to run free.
He
and
wants
beat
up.
a space force. We already
Nah,
know
that
what
nigga
guy
fucking-
is.
He fucking
want
with
a
syndrome.
Space
He
Force,
want to be a
guys.
superhero. He done already made a movie of him and Kim Jong Un holding hands.
Saw that.
This nigga.
I
You
could
wanna
have done a better
create-
job editing that movie. That narrator sounded like it was the guy from Honest Trailers, which
Fuck is
In a
Honest
world.
Trailers? Oh,
it's
that
watch-
guy.
this guy, he's like this. He talks like this, and he narrates what happens in the trailer. Really
Oh yeah,
dramatic.
that guy.
That guy.
I absolutely think Bob voted for Trump though. Absolutely, 100%.
Real talk, the two MVPs of this movie were Jack and Elastigirl. Elastigirl
Yes.
should have been the hero of the first movie. Real talk, she killed it in this movie. The way that she was able to just really, like when you think about all the people she saved in just that first scene alone with the train, like she's awesome. She's amazing.
Exactly. I said they get it. Like on the real, I was like, they get the concept of being a superhero. Like they get it. Like it's not just about catching the bad guy. It's about like being altruistic and doing it not for yourself or not for the glory. And they did a good contrast of like Mr. Incredible. He seemed like he just want the fucking glory. Like why can't I do this shit? Like that type of shit. And I'm like,
I don't know. I still don't see that. I feel like his pride is shot because he can't never win.
because he keep fucking up. It ain't nobody else's
I
fault.
know, but I feel like he wanted an opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
I feel like
He's
he
a
wanted.
white male. He got all the opportunities.
Bob is like the white guy from like Iowa who's like factory shut down, and now his economic anxiety caused him to blame everything that went wrong on the Mexicans. So like he's mad that he thinks he got screwed and it wasn't his fault that he fucked up when he fucked up. It's just like he act like it wasn't his fault that made the villain in the first movie. Like that was you treat that dude like shit. Of course he's gonna grow up and try to fuck with you. You treat him like shit. and then this movie, yeah, go ahead.
You know, one thing I realized that I've never seen a black person do ever in my entire life is have a midlife crisis. That sounds like such a white man thing.
Can't afford one.
I've never seen a black person have a midlife crisis ever in my entire life. And Bob just seems like he had the midlife of all midlife crises.
I have seen some old black dudes like turn like 55, 60 and go out and buy a motorcycle and start driving fast and shit. But that's like the extent of our midlife crisis.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Like Bob went out to the gym. He started hitting on 20-year-olds because Mirage and Syndrome can't be that old. Syndrome was like 12 when Bob was like, keep him away from me. So maybe 27. Bob hitting on a 23-year-old like, hello, Mirage.
Also, when they first met, it looked like Bob was way older than Elastigirl. Like,
Way older.
Like when they showed that flashback, like when they first met, it looked like he was way older.
Look like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
oh, shit. I kept thinking about fucking Adam West Batman when I first saw Bob in the first movie. I was like, yo, that's some shit because he wore that turtleneck and shit. I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here, yo.
That's some Adam West shit. All right, let's go around and do what we always do for the movies. Devin, what do you give this movie?
I
Out of
will
10.
definitely give it a 10. Definitely a 10 out of 10 because it was better than the first one and that exceeded my expectations for this movie. We had a woman lead that was great. She beat Bob's ass when Bob got chloroformed out and they put the glasses on. And it was a good family movie, so it had everything I wanted and it exceeded expectations, so I got to give it a 10.
Danielle.
Definitely. I agree. I give it a 10 just because I feel like it was epic. I don't really feel like there's any errors. Like, I mean, it took them long enough, so they did good. Again, I didn't think it was going to be better than the first one, and it definitely surpassed it with everything, with the comedy and the action. So I give it a 10.
But now we have the Violet issue out there because of
Oh
Rashanii.
yeah, now we got that to talk about. Stephanie, what do you give it?
Oh, I definitely give it a 10. I love that it was more Jack. I felt like it wasn't going to be a movie if Edna Mode was not there, and she was. So I got my Edna fix. I got more Jack. I got him fighting a raccoon, for if you're nasty. And I love that it was so female driven, and the villain was female. Helen, which you didn't really see how powerful she really was in the first movie, because I was trying to figure out why she was considered like the gold standard of supers, because you really didn't see her power in the first one, and in this one you were like, oh, I see why now. Mm-hmm. So I like seeing more of Elastigirl's powers and why she is like a very big deal. So I loved that, and I loved all the humor. It was extremely funny. I'm like, I don't remember the first one being this funny.
No, this one was definitely more funny.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think?
10, absolutely 10. I agree with everything that you guys have said. Exceeded expectations, better than the first one, so I feel like I can't really say anything else without repeating it, but definitely a 10.
Rashanii?
I've waited 14 years for this shit. I mean, let's just say that. I waited 14 years for this. And my wife has waited 14, and my kids waited their whole lives. And my youngest son wants to see this movie 3 more times. He scheduled it for his birthday party. This movie is 10 multiplying Jacks out of 10, easily. And I can literally say that it is one of the best movies Pixar's ever done, period.
Yeah.
And fuck you and fight me if you got something to say about that shit.
Yes.
I'm just weak at how you introduced how you were about to give your rating. That was so dope. He was like, I waited 14 years for this. I was like, okay, turn up then.
Look. Every other movie where you waited a long, lengthy amount of time
like
for
Infinity
a sequel
War.
to come out. Infinity War? Nah. I'm talking about like, this is a Star Wars length of time.
Oh, good stuff.
Star Wars. Think about Star Wars fans waiting like all
That's
this time for a new Star Wars movie to come out before they started just putting them out cookie cutter. But there's the chances of putting out a movie this far out into the future that still hits every single point and takes time out to amplify and lift up women. The only thing that I didn't like about it, and maybe that's why I'm working so hard to try and make Violet biracial, is that they didn't lift up a black woman. That's the only thing.
Oh, look at you come through.
They had the opportunity to do that, and they passed on it. That's what I'm saying. His wife could have been something.
She definitely could have been a super,
His wife could have been Void. Yeah,
his wife could have been a super.
Mm-hmm.
His wife could have been Void. Like, if you make, Lucius's wife Void, Helen takes her under her wing and teaches her how to be a hero. Like, because like she has it in her and she looks up to Helen and everything. So
fuck no,
if
she
you
don't
make
need to look up to
Lucius's
Helen.
What do you
Because
mean?
Lucia's not young enough to have a wife that young.
But it was dope to see.
I'm just saying you could have made Void her husband. I mean her wife, his wife.
It was dope to see
Okay.
Elastigirl riding down the street and see those ladies freaking out like she was
Yeah,
Beyonce.
that was definitely dope.
And I'm just saying, like, what's the fear? What is the worst thing that could happen if they introduce a black lady superhero?
Nothing.
What's the worst thing that could happen? Because it didn't seem to come to their mind at all. They had a fucking owl.
Look, and they could have been first. Did Marvel and DC ever done it yet?
They had an owl, but they didn't have a black woman. That's the one thing that got me. That's the one thing that stuck. Was like they missed this opportunity. Did they miss it, or did they just not want to take it?
I feel like they missed it. I feel like they didn't think they had time to put in stuff and introduce Lucius's wife because they felt like the character would be too important to just get a pass by. Because I feel like Lucius they gave Lucius more time. Because in the first movie, if you watch it, you're like, damn, I see Lucius for like 2 scenes. You don't see him no more. So I think they wanted to give him more time. But then if they were like, unless they were going to make them some type of duo, but they never alluded to Lucius's wife being a super. But I agree with you 100%. They should have done that. I get this movie a 10 as well. I loved everything about it. I also think if you watch these back to back, like Rashanii saw the double feature, but like if you watch these back to back, the first one, the second one, you can absolutely see how far like Pixar's animation has come in 14 years. Like that movie looked great for it at the time, but when you compare it to like how great this fucking movie looked, and just the level of detail and like their hair moving when they're running and like their eyes and just the level of detail they paid attention to in this film. Like I see why it took so long to make this film. So,
and if you look at what Brad Bird has done at Pixar, he did The Incredibles, he did Ratatouille, and
he did Tomorrowland.
He did Tomorrow. Fuck that movie. And he did The Iron Giant. That was the one I was gonna say was The Iron Giant. So after he made The Incredibles, he was like, you know what? I'm going to expand like the color palette and all that kind of stuff. And this movie, setting-wise, this movie just scenery-wise was the brightest, most beautiful superhero movie I've seen since Big Hero 6 in San Francisco. Yeah. It was garishly just like it's so. Oh my God! It was like eating the scenery. Like you wanted to just touch it. Watching her ride on that motorcycle while the lights were going over and everything was just so. As an artist, it was amazing. This movie, like you really got to think about the love that had to go into this movie. This is a love letter for us, but it was a new beginning for our kids. And it
you
was
are spitting straight. You are just.
I waited 14 years.
I want to give you an award because the way that you just described how great this movie is, like, I want you to speak at my wedding for real. Like,
14 years. My wife and I hadn't even met when this movie came out.
That was definitely a best man toast.
Yeah, but I think that you need to go to the movie awards and you need to talk about why this movie should win.
14 years. He had time.
Look, you should go see it like 50 times, like that dude that went and saw Infinity War 50 times.
Oh, I saw Black Panther at least 17. What you think I'm gonna do here?
Look, that dude.
You lying,
that black dude.
No, I saw Black Panther multiple.
It's this black dude saw Infinity War 50 times, and Marvel reached out to him and they invited him to the Avengers 4 premiere, all expenses paid next year. So I was like, you mean tell me I can do that on Movie Pass and somebody invite me to go see their fucking movie? So I think
the only issue I did have, other than the fact that they didn't implement a black woman into this movie at all, was that strobe light scene.
Oh, I heard that fucked with people.
Epilepsy.
Yeah, I heard that fucked with people.
And that scene where the lights were flashing and that was all bad, and they didn't warn anybody about that shit. So I'm glad that they're now putting out a warning before the movie starts about that scene, because I don't want anybody to die while watching this movie.
Right. Yeah, I saw that today too. I think Rashanii, we're doing what? Tag?
Yeah,
Superfly.
Yep.
Yo, I can't wait to see that movie. I'm actually going to see Superfly tonight.
Oh, okay. You can get on Superfly then. I'm gonna go see that probably. Well, we gotta do the regular show tomorrow, Devin and Mike, if y'all free, on Wednesday. Yeah. So whatever day we don't do it, I'm gonna go see Superfly, and then Tag the next day. We can do that at the end of the week. If any of y'all want to get on for one of those two, please. I have a feeling Superfly is gonna be like so bad it's good.
Horrible, exactly.
Yeah, I feel it's gonna be a so bad it's good, like not so bad it's good, like Skyscraper. I literally cannot wait for Skyscraper.
I can't wait. I am so on for Skyscraper. I love Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a.k.a. my favorite impossible white man, and he not even white.
He's definitely... But here's the thing. He's starting to, like, not be an impossible white man anymore because, like, I actually don't think it's impossible, the stuff that he does. When I see The Rock, I'm like, I believe you can do that. Like, when he goes and fucks up, like, 12 people, I'm like... Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with The Rock, so that's not so impossible.
So maybe it's just shit.
But they made him impossible in this movie with a fuck. Listen, I watched the. I showed my.
leg.
I showed my coworker the trailer today, and I was like, "Watch this part." And then he's running. First of all, they allude that he climbs up a crane that's like 1,000 feet in the air. So I don't think he climbed the whole way up, but they allude to that he climbed all the way to the top of that crane. Then he runs on the crane and then jumps like 50 feet into a building with a prosthetic leg. It's so ridiculous.
I'm like, he's missing a leg in this movie? What the hell?
I can't wait for that shit. But yeah, I think our next two movies are Tag, Superfly, and then Jurassic World at the end of the month. So any of y'all want to get on, let me know. But
Thanks, Movie Pass. Thanks, Cinema.
I'm definitely down for Jurassic World too.
Oh, and nigga, if we don't talk about Uncle Drew,
I forgot about Uncle Drew. Yes, I'm definitely gonna see that too.
I've already invited all my basketball players to see Uncle Drew with me.
Yeah, we'll definitely see Uncle Drew. Devin, you going to see that?
You know, I'm here for it. I'm always here for it.
I
like that. Look, Shaq Fu back, man. Shaq Fu.
Look, you got Shaq, Reggie Miller, and Chris Webber acting in a movie. I gotta see that.
It's gonna be horrible.
I gotta see that. Especially Reggie Miller acting. Come on, bro. I gotta see that shit.
Well, let's be honest. Reggie Miller been acting for like the last 30 years.
I mean, he has been acting. He on the court, he do be acting. He do be, yeah. But
it's still like ringy.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this review, and thank you guys for listening. You can catch us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere you catch your podcast at. Leave us a 5-star review. Helps us out a lot, and we'll talk to you later.
She fucks with nothing but the us. My life's like a movie.